and I'll give everybody a chance to get in here. Um, and then while we're doing that, I'll turn my iPod iPad on. Man, I still cannot say that. Okay. Let's see, is my stuff's okay, it seems like. Uh, Need to move my shirt over a little bit. Mandy Moo 87, hello, how are you? Okay, so let me see what's up here. 'Cause it looks like this is a little different. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so everything is still backwards, but I'm okay with that because I keep moving it to the wrong side. See, it's backwards. Uh, yeah, it is. It's backwards. Okay. This is actually my right. This is actually my left. So, but what I want to do is I want to do an experiment tonight. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for coming in. You don't know what it means. Skater tie-dye, always rad to see you. Mandy Mood, thanks for coming in. Um, I want to do a single fan fold because I haven't done one uh on my channel yet. I've done a double fan fold, but I haven't done a fan fold. But I want to do thinking about doing an experiment that I've never done before, and just go ahead and do it live and see what happens. Kind of just step out on a limb and see if it breaks. Um, I want to do a single color, single fan fold, and I'm going to use a sifter and then go over the whole shirt and just see what happens. Kind of like a dye over the ice, but it'll be sifted on the shirt instead of putting ice on and then sifting over the ice, Do it on the shirt and not leave any white space and see if I can get flow and see if what the splits, see if what, just see what happens. Um, I just got some one of my favorite dyes, Stormy Sky, in the mail from ProChem. And me and Steph were talking about maybe using some Stormy Sky, um, which is a great color. I don't have any Stormy Sky. I believe this was Strawberry Skies and Dragon Egg, but it's pretty obsolete dye, so I don't want to use it on on a live. You know what I mean? Because I want to if someone wants to copy it or do the same do the exact same thing and want to use Stormy Sky, you know it's easy to get. you know Happy Cat dyes are pretty hard to get. They're hard to come by, almost like sitting on gold. you know um Mean we can't stay for long, but wanted to say hi. We'll catch up. Thanks. Absolutely. Thanks, Skater Dye. Yeah, this was a nice shirt. I ended up claiming it for myself. um so the way I see it, the center of the fold is on my left. If you have it on, it's on the right. And that's kind of when I started doing them, I thought I'm just going to do them all on the same side. So I flip it inside out and do it. So let's go ahead and get started. But yeah, I love this shirt. It's really cool. So we're going to step out on a limb here and see if it breaks on us. And you never know. It could be really cool and it could split and have nice flow, but we're not going to know if we don't try, huh? So let's do it live and maybe fall on our face in front of everybody, you know? Why not? So no centering the shirt. We just get it lined up straight, good and straight as we can. and we'll draw an arc on it and all that. I use my, I like to use, I'll try to keep my head up out of the way. I like to try to use my cleaning rods, rifle cleaning rods, and it helps kind of get a nice clean start. And like I've said before, if you don't want to, I understand if people don't want to support, you know, gun stuff. I get it. So, and like Stephanie has said in the past, which is a great idea, you can always use the blinds, the little twisty thing for the blinds. It would work just fine too. I bought dowel rods from Walmart for literally cents, just cents on the dollar, just to see, and it worked just fine. I still have them, but and it just helps me get a nice, good start. Nice, good start. This is a large, a golden heavy cotton large, and it was soaked in soda ash for about probably 45 minutes. So let's not add any soda ash either. So let's do, because yeah, we always add extra soda ash, and maybe that's not really what I should do because I did soak it. Okay. It's not how you fall on your face, it's how you get back up. A lesson learned from the skateboarding for 20 years, and that's the truth, sir. That is the truth. Because everybody's going to fall. It's how you get back up. That's the truth. Okay. So I like to have the center of, the center of my arc. I don't want it down low. I don't, on my eyes, it looks better up just like an inch or so below the armpit. Okay. So I'm going to put a little dot and I'm going to draw 3 arcs. My first arc will be almost half the shirt. And that's the line that I'm going to fold on. Let's go down. Let's do that. And I should take it you guys can hear me okay because nobody has said anything. I usually ask because I have my headphones in and I don't know if they want to work all the time or not. Okay, so there's my middle line. I'm going to draw a little line right here, little arc, I mean, like so. And that's why I draw a little dot there so I can keep the same circumference. You know what I mean? I know where my center is. All right, easy peasy, just like that. And now what we want to do is when we get to the end, uh, all of these lines we want them to be straight. Easier said than done, huh? It's not too bad. And I just okay. So let me tell you, some people, and you see it, I'm sure. They use a protractor. Let me wipe my protractor off. They use a protractor, sit it on there, and they draw out whatever their increments they want it to be. Totally cool with that. No problem. Me, myself, I just like to kind of freehand it. I do my first couple lines. My first couple folds, I go all the way and do the whole shirt and do the whole fold and make every line just like that. Okay, so let me split this over here. Okay, so we're gonna go like that. Um, let's do one more line here, and we'll see what how tall it is. Okay, and I have learned over the years of doing these, the current line that you're working on, I go just a tiny bit taller than the line before, and it always seems like it kind of, I don't know if it's falling a little bit, but see, just it's my shirt's damp. I had it in soda ash for probably 45 minutes. I spun it out in the Panda spin dryer for probably about 45 seconds. So it's still a little damp. It's definitely, more on the wet side than the dry side, but it's not it's pretty dry. You know what I mean? And I can usually get about three folds, three pleats before I have to start turning my shirt. And these pleats will get tall towards the end of the shirt. You can see how it's going to be pretty tall. And these are these folds are like wedge shaped. So it's starts at nothing here and goes up to, let's see. Usually it's about three quarter of what I when I on my line that I start on. And this is actually a 7/8 or close to an inch. Down here, it climbed to 1 3/4 inch. Okay. So 0 to 1 3/4 inch. And it might start, it might be a little higher once it's going to be taller once I get, to the corner of the shirt, then it starts getting low again. So I need to move my shirt a little bit and to keep this line straight. Let me do it a little bit more. It's been a while since I've done a fan fold. Okay. And then if you have pleating tools, use them. And I've learned some cool things. I learned a pretty cool trick uh, with using two kind of like chopsticks. When I get to the end of my fold, when I get down here, I can actually like um, rob Peter to pay Paul pretty much with some of these folds down here. Some of these. There we go. And then you might have to spin your shirt a little bit more and try to keep this line straight. Now, I have learned, and you can zoom in if you want, that I try to keep this line just to the left um, of the shirt. Like if I'm looking down, if I center this line, I try to get my folding line to the other side of this line. And then when I make this fold right here, a lot of times it lines perfectly up. That, okay. And then just keep doing the same thing all the way around the shirt. Now it starts, that's the thickest part. And now everything starts getting easier as I start working my way around. It's not as tall. Now I'm now at the tallest point and it'll start getting easier. So just move your shirt a little bit, keep your line straight. I try to keep this line just a little over to the other side. And if you go to do it, you would understand what I'm talking about. And then you can use your pleating tool to kind of go down like that. I try to hold this line. Anytime I make a move on my shirt, I hold my line so it doesn't move on me. Okay. So when I come down to the end here and I can find where I'm supposed to be at just by kind of pulling up on the shirt, and then everything else will fall in. Now, I don't concentrate a whole lot on this end until I get done with the shirt. Now I do, but I'm not really because it's not perfectly even. as much it is down here. Okay. So I need to spin my shirt again and just keep doing the same thing over and over and keep that line straight. And you can manipulate that line too. You know, you can move stuff where you kind of need it. Come over here and grab a spot and you can see where you need to make your crease and then just kind of move everything over and everything will fall into place at the end. Okay. And this stuff will get kind of, you know, it'll move around a little bit, but just keep working the center line. Okay, so I don't know if you can zoom in, but my line is just a little to the left. Well, my left. I don't know what you're seeing, but I guess it would be on the camera, it's to the right. But when I go to make my crease here, it seems to just line right up. Helps to keep it straight. Okay. And then I can tell where I need to come down here. Let's move all this over. So, am I keeping my head out of the way? Let me let me spin this shirt a little bit so I can keep it in camera. Like that. Okay. Make a fold. And I just kind of, once I get this far, this stuff's not going to move as much. So I can um, start my pleat and then pick up and put it where I need it, if that makes sense at all. Okay. And now it just starts getting easier and easier with this end of the shirt. Okay. So we're going to spin it and just try to keep that line straight. Sometimes I'll even like use a couple fingers there to manipulate my shirt there a little bit. Okay. And we'll fix that here at the end there. Won't spend a whole lot of time on that because it all kind of comes together at the end, it seems like. Okay. Like that. Keeping my head up out of the way. Anybody saying anything? Tammy, hello. How are you doing? Where did you get those pleating tools? I got these pleating tools from Boredom with Jen. She makes the best tools in the business. You guys should really look into her stuff. I have pleating tools. I have all kinds of tools from her. She seriously makes the best stuff. She makes these scoop. Uh, they're like like little spoon scoop thing, and they work really good if I want to do fine line work, and the die is like really easy to work with. It flows right out of these things. So she has the best tools, including uh, her uh, caddies, and yeah, and she customizes it. This is Kelly's with Kelly on it. Boredom with Jen. Do it like that. Boredom with Jen. With Kelly's name on it. There's red dyes. I have, I have a lot of stuff. Yeah, we supported each other. Still do. Pretty much in. Like a port and dump stuff out. So yeah, she has the best tools in the business. So look her stuff up. She has the best customer service. Um, she's just a great person. So if you want to buy some cool tie dye tools, she's the person to go to. Okay. Thanks, Stephanie. I do sometimes I don't think about it, but absolutely, she definitely deserves every shout out that she gets for sure. Okay. So we'll just keep working our way around here. And did you see that? I'm kind of like, I mean, I'm guessing, but I still kind of know where I need to go. And I can pinch my line right there, pinch where I think the top's going to be, and I can pick my shirt up and put it right where I need it to be. Okay. So just keep spinning your shirt, make your line straight. Same thing over and over. Now, I do want to tell you, if you are doing the protractor deal, um, you're not going to keep your line straight. And if you were to do it, you would know exactly what I mean as soon as you start, because that line just you don't manipulate your line. You just pick up on the lines that you drew out, and then you do it to the next one. Stephanie has a video, and it was top notch, man. And I don't know if Stephanie could ever do a link on it, but she did the protractor. Didn't you do the protractor deal, Stephanie? And I mean, it was a gorgeous shirt. I remember. So, like I said, I would never knock the protractor and drawing the lines out. You get, I mean, beautiful results. I just, I just like to do it this way. There's a way I taught myself and learned from stuff and, you know, others that were doing YouTube videos when I first started. Um, so, you know, my teachers really weren't doing protractor work at the time. You know what I mean? Um, but there you go. And sometimes you have to fight this. Oh, what is it? The seam, the shoulder seam right here. Sometimes you have to fight this. I didn't have to fight it at all. It fell right into place. So just keep your line straight, man. I guess I've said it a bunch, but it's the truth, man. If you keep your line straight, you're golden. Like that. I'll keep it like that. So and I'm going to use Sanu. So all I'm doing is binding the shirt. I don't really necessarily care what kind of uh, rubber bands I'm using or anything. It's, you know, now what did I do? Oh, here we go. These are just simple, like, I don't know, um, brown rubber bands. I would do uh, some local vends and, do vending locally at like some festivals and stuff. And I was doing like a live tutorial and showing people. I think I was even doing a fanfold. And picked the rubber band up and went underneath like that. And you should have heard it. I mean, there were like, I don't know, a few of them were like, ooh, like they loved just that going underneath the the shirt like that, like nice and smooth. They love that. Okay, so another tool that I have are these tweezers, and they have like a flat edge on it, and I forget the name of them. I used to know the name. They're definitely my favorite tweezers to use, and only tweezers that I use when I'm tie dyeing. And I use these to kind of pick up any fold that I think needs to be just picked up a little bit, and they work perfect. They go right in between the folds and grab the top of the pleat, and I can get everything um, level like that. And then I'll put another rubber band at the back of that one, like so. Okay, so here I'm going to take a seat, and this isn't going to be straight up and down for you because I'm going to work on this. So this is where I've learned to use these kind of like chopsticks. Um, this first one, you come down, and now see how this one needs to be picked up. I have a lot on this one, so I'll steal from this a little bit, and I can finish my pleat down here most of the time. My shirt's starting to go. There it is. Okay. So then there's one. Here's one. And I can tell, see how that one is just a little too high. I'm so, like I was saying earlier, I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. Isn't that the term? Come down. Right. And, so it's not going to be perfect. At least doing this way, it's not going to be perfect down here. And I don't even stress it. I used to stress it. I don't stress it anymore. And it's just not worth. I mean, that's tie dye. It's not perfect. Uh, maybe paddle tweezers. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Stuff. Um, but yeah, that's an easy way to be able to use your tools, and it was really simple and fast. And because I've wondered, when I first got these pleating tools, I was like, how do I actually really use these things? You know what I mean? So I one day I just picked them up and started using them kind of like chopsticks. You know what I mean? And you can get your pleats. You can see how much it helped. You know, so I can tell that this one needs to come up a little bit. There we go. And this one down here is down just a little bit. Right, like that. Get one, get a rubber, but this you can actually put like. Sometimes I'll put like. I think it's going to take 3 rubber bands. So I'll just go ahead and put 3 rubber bands on around my fingers, and I can still kind of work with this line right here because I do need to do something with that, and that's another pleat right there. So keep that. Go ahead and put that tight like that. Take one of my rubber bands off. Do that, and then I have another one right here. Like that, and then see how these got kind of bunched up right there. Now that I'm down here at the end and this rubber band's keeping everything up here, I can still kind of work this a little bit. There we go. Like that. You see how that line's kind of wavy? You can kind of pull down on it. And now my line's straight. So when I go to do my first couple lines, it's not going to be wonky. It should be a pretty straight line, a pretty straight circle, because these are going to make kind of a circle ring, you know, like that. It's not going to hold it perfect, but it'll do. Okay. Uh, How'd I do that with the rubber band? Yeah, that's how what they were. They were like, "Oh my god, man." They loved that. I think they loved that more than anything. I probably coulda just sat there and put rubber bands underneath rubber bands and shirts and stuff, and they'd have you'd know the whole time. Okay, so this, the back end of the shirt is it's pretty easy. All right, so and I actually kind of take them apart and then just put it back together. So that's why I don't really stress it a whole lot when I'm actually doing it. I do the whole pleat, but I'm you know, so just kind of let it do its natural thing there, like that. Okay. So it looks like I can pick up on this a couple of these and try to get them all the same height. And that looks pretty good. There's one right here. There you go. This one, okay, so there's a this one's kind of sticking up just a little bit. I might be able to even it out a little bit with that one. I was able to. Sorry if I'm kind of whispering. I don't think I need to talk real loud with these headphones on, honestly. Is my camera still straight? Okay, it looks like it's doing okay. They have changed chat. I don't like it. I try to scroll and it takes me into some other person's like. It reminds me of TikTok. I will get used to it. The pleating tools come in a set of three. It helps measure out your pleats. I think it's 1 inch, 1/2, and what's the third side? It was this is the small one, quarter, probably. The small one is actually um 1/2 inch. Small one's a half. Maybe that's a medium. I forget. This one's 3/4. This one's 1/2 inch. I don't know what. Oh wait, who am I in this thing? Oh wait, here's those are the same size, and here's the fattest. Okay, so you're right. The biggest one's an inch. This one is 3/4 of an inch, the medium one, and the smallest one is a 1/2 inch. All right. So it is a good way. You know, you know where your inch mark is. Yeah. So we're almost ready to start canoeing this. But see how all my lines are straight? And they just, they just kind of, as long as you do the same fold every time, I think fold. Okay. There we go. The okay, good. Thanks. Okay. Now I might have a little bit of whites. I mean, that's kind of a tall fleet back here. Um, I don't know if I'll have any white space or not. Now, like I said, I'm going to sift dye over this like it's a dye over ice. And I'm actually going to use I have a little sifter, but man, this stormy sky is pretty dusty. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna worry about that right now, because I need to do this. I'm not done with that. It should be done like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is a large shirt, a large gilded heavy cotton, and I am going to go every 2 1/4 inch. And I've already marked it out on my, I've already marked it, but not the every 2 1/4 on my ruler. So I don't, it took the guessing out. I don't even have to mess around with it. You know what I mean? Um, so started with black with my rings, my arcs. So I try to use a different color. So when I make my notches, so I don't get them confused, because I have done that before, grabbed a black marker and ended up putting the sinew on the wrong line. When I got to the end, I was like, daggone it, and had to take it off and start over. So we'll go every 2 1/4, which is this green mark on my roller. So it's every 2 1/4 inches. And we'll have one kind of close to the end there. Okay. And I used to sit and do, I don't even mess around with that anymore. I mean, it's kind of a waste of time. So I'm going to set my shirt like this for just a second. I'm going to get my sinew and my sinew puller. Like I said, this is from Boredom with Jen, and these things work great. Um, I, I make a slip knot. I don't know if you know how to make a slip knot. I'm going to show you right side up here, in case you don't know how to do it. And I had to show a guy at work this, and it took him a while. It was pretty funny. I just make it like a little half a loop right here. Uh, you can stick your fingers in like that. So flip it and reach in there and grab the long one. And then you just made a cinch knot, slip knot, cinch knot. And then when you don't want it, you just pull it and it'll undo itself. Easy peasy. All right. So I like having my knot to fall to the right, but it's going to look like it's the left to you. But to me, it's the right. Okay. And I'm going to put it, I always like to have just a little, a bit right here on the edge. And I'll show you with the shirt that I did. It's this little spot right here. All right. And then that it starts working its way out. And what this is doing is the sinew is interrupting the dye. So um, when I first started doing these fan folds with the sinew, I saw another artist, and he was talking about pulls, sinew pulls, and he even showed a light pull, a medium pull, and a hard pull, which was for geodes, like geodes or glitches, where you have to pull it till it almost breaks, you know? Um, and I got to thinking about medium pulls and what does he, I mean, and he said, the more experience you get, the more you'll understand about medium pulls. And it really struck me. And so I thought about it, and I thought about, and I thought, and I was doing fan folds at the time, and I loved doing fan folds, and I thought, what would it look like if I did a medium pull on a fan fold? And I did a medium pull, and I got results similar to this, and it, it blew me away. Literally, it blew me away. And I fell in love with it and loved doing them. So uh, let's finish it. Okay. So we'll start our our first spot I didn't draw a line. I don't really need to. Um, it's not much of a little arc because if I go out here to this one, it's gonna it to me it looks kind of awkward. It's just too much of a space. Um, get this set up here. I'm just going to go ahead and go over it. I've already wrapped it once tight with the slip knot, so I'm just going to go over it one more time and do kind of an easy pull because I don't want it to really be a white line. These are just medium pulls, you know. I don't want a a geode pull. I want just when it cinches. Am I still on camera here? Okay. Okay. And I wrap it twice and pull it till it cinches. So yeah, I felt it cinch. Not anything real hard. Okay. Now I messed up. Did you see that? That was my that's not my green line. That was my black line. See, I was even talking about the different colors, and I almost messed up there right off the bat too. I'm glad I caught that. Where were you guys on that? Huh? It is your life mission. I know how you feel about it. Okay. Sorry if this is taking a while. Now that let's see how that cinched. I even kind of gave you and the more we go, I'll be able to show you. And I just how I just like pull and you can see how it cinches. It'll cinch on itself. I might be able to, I'll probably be able to do it with the, we can go a little harder on that one. Okay. So there's my line and just stay on my green lines now. And I try to stack them as best as I can. I don't think it's really super important because they always seem to fall on themselves. So I'm going to hold this like this and see if you can see it cinch on itself right there. I like that. And a little bit more right there. So nothing hard. It's still kind of stiff, but I think it'll be okay because I'm not adding any more soda ash. I don't want the soda ash to build up in there and cause me to not be able to saturate where I want there to be saturation. If that's even a thing, I don't know, but I want to try. I'm not. This is an experiment, so I'm going to go ahead and experiment with the dye placement and with no soda ash. Might as well, huh? And just work your way up. Green lines only. Hold that like that. About like that. Nothing too major because I don't, like I said, I'm trying to not get any white. I want to see what this is going to do. So I don't want to pull too hard. That back there. That up. And these lines, if I was to start drawing lines, draw my lines out, see how that kind of curves. It'll kind of like curve as I start working my way up. It doesn't mess with it. You would think it would, but it doesn't. It's always been, you know, nice and round, half circle. I got that this lemon candle going. It smells so good. I've really been liking this Sanu. Um, I don't get paid by anybody, so it's not like a, some advertising thing, but I've always used Kool, and I got some is it Guru Treasure or something like that off Amazon? And I kind of like the way it slides right in. There's times when I'm doing using Kool, it wants to build up almost, it's almost like a wind knot, or it's almost like a knot. It knots up before it cinches. And it's almost like it's too tacky or something, too waxy. I don't know. But I don't know. Does anybody Treasure Guru? Have you ever used it stuff? I kind of like it. Um, of course I still have Kool here, and I actually, if I was to do a geode or a glitch, I would be using my Kool. Um, but I like this, what you call it, Treasure Guru. Yeah, I like this stuff. I mean, watch how easy it. Now, when I say that, and it kind of wind nodded a little, nodded a little bit, but that'll be okay right there. There's my value there. But we'll see what happens here. So that one feels kind of tight, but I think it'll be okay. Do this little, see how it fans out? I have these little tiny rubber bands. They almost look like rubber bands for braces or something. What are they stuff like little hair rubber bands? And I like to try to just keep everything nice and set in there for good saturation. You know what I mean? Sometimes I've had stuff out like that and it just didn't get saturated right there, so try to keep it. There we go. Here's another one. I can always do that when I'm done. Okay. I'm Kool all the way. I love sticky. I hear you. Am I leaving the bands? No, no, I'm taking the bands off as I go. Oh, these little hair bands. Yeah, I'll leave the hair bands on there. It's not going to, it's not going to do anything. So, but I'm starting to get to my color point, my shirt, and I'm curious how much dye I'm going to have to use to saturate this because it's not, you know what I'm saying? If it's a fail, it's a fail. It's an experiment. So I've never done this. I'm very curious what is going to happen. Placed like dye over ice, but dye under ice. It could be cool. It could be, and if not, we might have to say, don't do that. It's a waste of time. But it'll be our waste of time, huh? Okay. Do we only have what, two more here? And these are, I don't stress the ass into the shirt too much. I've been wanting to say that all evening, and I finally did. Magic would definitely happen, I hope. It'd be cool if it worked out really good. I mean, I remember stuff when we didn't leave, I remember when we were laying there die all the way, like, butting it up against each other and stuff, and then yeah, and then, um, and then we started leaving white space to let the die move. So we've done it before, but I don't think we ever, like, sifted it on there or, just straight over top of it. I don't know, we'll see though. Heck yeah. Okay, so we're done with this. Where's my little scissors at? I just had them a little bit ago before. There they are. Before we went on the air waves. There we go. I don't need to tie that off. Nothing's going to happen. It's not going to come undone. It's never happened to me before. Okay, so that's just I think it's okay. What do you guys think? See how it wedges up from, well, supposed to be nothing up to what we end up with 2 inches. And that would be even thicker, but it's kind of rolled over on itself. It's okay. I'm not stressing it. But you can see how it's just a medium pull. It's not loose, it's not tight, you know? Now I will do something with this right here. Grab another little one of these rubber bands. I think it needs to look like a dusting shirt to me, seen through the dye. So you think it? Sorry if I'm kind of like hiccuping or something. I don't know. I think it needs to be a dusting and so it leaves white space. Is that what you're saying? Do I want to put it in the gutter and um and add the dye when it's in the gutter, or do I want to put it on my dye table, add my dye, and then put it in the gutter? That way, it's just the dye that's on the top. That but that residual dye could actually help with saturation, wouldn't it? Chat sucks, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if I've done any live chat since they changed it. Okay, well, let's get the gutter up here. Um, I mean, there's different things that I do. I have these little racks that I put in my gutter so I can kind of rack it and use my gutter at the same time. That way I don't have muck lines. And I've always kind of like, these are just hit me. Sometimes I use them, sometimes I don't. Um, on a Fanfold, I've never used them. I don't think. Okay, so here's a gutter. Let's just do the dusting in the gutter. And we'll do no rack, just straight gutter. Um, we're gonna put this in the gutter. I always like to have my the center of my shirt or the top of my incline on this rolled edge on the left hand side, which is going to be your right hand side. Um, so I'll set my shirt in like that. Now, I have a hard time judging how much dye to use. I'm a bit heavy-handed. Okay, so Shannara, what you might want to try to do, and I've done it myself, is do 2 shirts or 3 shirts, if you don't mind, like using a couple shirts as an experiment. That could just be something that you don't use your style or whatever, but do different um, go light-handed, go medium-handed, and then go heavy-handed, and see what you like best. I'm sure that your light-handed to light to medium is going to be what you really like because I think muck lines would be too stuff. Um, yeah. Just let's gutter it, sugar it. All right. We'll just sugar it up. Let me clean my area as I go here, like I've been taught through the years. There, easy peasy. Did you say? Did you say it? You said it earlier. Easy peasy lemon squeeze. That's right. And I have my lemon candle here, and it smells so friggin' good, man. We've been going to White Barn, or what is it actually? It's like Bed Bath& and Beyond or something like that. I forget the name of it. And they've been having these 3 wick candles on sale. Man, I burn them when I'm tie dyeing. I love them. Okay, so I have some sponges that I've been using thanks to Leaf Watson, and he showed himself using these sponges. And I love them, man, because I was using, everybody used stuff, different stuff. I was using um, washcloth. If you've ever seen me work up till now, I've always used washcloths. So let me take a drink and hold on here a second. I did a shirt for a friend, and I used tra- black cherry and tangerine. Can't wait to see it. I think it's going to look really cool. Uh, you can see the residual dye on top of it, but it's black cherry and tangerine, and hopefully it comes out good. We'll see. It's due to be rinsed out. I'll rinse it out after we do this. Let me wash my hands. I just got orange dye on. Uh, and that's a pleated prism. Pleated prism was, I think, the first video I did. So we'll see how it turns out. I don't know. We'll see. Just a All right. Stormy sky is very like sandy. So let me see how this is going to come out of the sifter. And this is how I clean my sifter by beating it off the thing. So I have this red sifter. It's a little mini sifter. Um, I asked Amanda um, Clovis. She was the owner of Happy Cat, and we both started using these sifters. And I asked her what was really the magic behind it. Do you think it was kind of helping these colors split away from each other? And when the ice hits it, it splits even more. And she said, no, I think it helps me to stay light-handed. And light-handed is always better. And it's true. You get better splits when you go light-handed. Black cherry and tangerine, that's going to be a taste. Yeah, I hope. And there's Leaf. Hey, Scott. I just mentioned your name, brother. So I'm going to put some dye in here. Oh, it's not. I figured it was just going to come. I know. I, their Stormy Sky looks a lot different than what the last. I haven't bought Stormy Sky in a while, but this looks reformulated. They're definitely putting more blobber salt in in it. So I don't know if you just came through, Leaf. We're um, uh, I'm doing an experiment here. I want to do sift. I'm going to sift this over the shirt like it's a dye over ice, except I'm going to do dye under ice, and I'm not going to leave any white space. So let's see what happens here. Um, we'll go to the back of the shirt first. Now I will go light because I can always add more, right? And I think this dye that's laying on the, ooh, I like that. Um, I think this dye that's laying in the gutter is definitely going to help with saturation on the bottom of the shirt. Uh, so I'm going to go a little, of course, go a little heavier on the back here because it's thicker. And I'm getting down to where I don't need to go as thick as back here. Ah, this is kind of cool. I like it. Okay, so I'm kind of down to the nitty gritty on my sifter. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up a little bit and put some more dye in there. And if I need to go with some more dye, it's not just going to be like there's like thicker, so you know how sifters are. You have like residual at the bottom. Okay, so what do you think? I definitely need to go a little more on the back. Um, I think this is good. What do you think? Huh? There's definitely going to be white. Okay. There's definitely going to be white back here. This is not, that's that thick. And you can still see some shirt. I think I'm going to add some more on the back. What do you think? That looks like a lot. Um, it's leaf. It's not lace. It's leaf. I promise you. Well, I can't promise you, but I think it is. I think you'll have turquoise. You think I'll have turquoise down in there, huh? That's thick. I'm gonna add a little stuff. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I mean, just a little bit more on this back. That's it. That's all I'm doing. We'll see what happens. Okay. So that's kind of, it's definitely not heavy handed. Um, it's more medium handed. You can still see some shirt down here. I mean, I kind of feel like I need to do just a tiny bit more on, I mean, the tiniest bit. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad. That's it. That's all I'm doing right there. Okay. I miss those duo for stuff is kind of. Oh yeah, we had fun. We're supposed to. We're wanting to do some more. Hopefully, that's the plan. I always love dying with stuff. Always had a blast. Always. That or Kelly's had. Okay, so that's Stormy Sky by Pro Chemical and Dye. Sifted over the whole shirt. No rack underneath. So I'm going to try to maybe try to get uh, uh, some of that dye to flow underneath the shirt. So there'll probably be there's going to be some white in it. I mean, there's no way there can't be. Okay, but that's okay. Never, who cares? We'll still get to see if it splits and has very much flow. So let me get that. That's, I didn't buff my ice up before, so this could be loud. And it's definitely going to be loud with my headphones. And you'll be like, God, really, what's that? What is this guy doing in this bag? Oh, you know? So you'll have to excuse me for a moment, okay? Hit mute or something because if you want to be loud. Steph hates this. She always has. And I always try to do it before, and I completely forgot. And it looked like my bag came back. Like ice. Yeah, it did. I called it. I knew it was going to. I could see it. There was one little slit in it. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. Man, it sucks. I don't know really what I'm doing. Not, I mean, being live and stuff. I'm going to have to pour some. Give me just a second. Sorry about this. It's totally unexpected. Like I said, I usually try to break some up before I go live and I was chatting and we got to do that. I thought I was ready and I wasn't. See? Really, it's on it first. And there we go. Here, let me get it. Okay. Ah, no talk. Kelly's off work for 2 days. She's out. She just got done from work and I know that girl's routine. You know, relax it up tonight. Okay. So I have a salad bowl here that I put my ice in. It kind of helps me pour it over kind of quick. Um, so let's do that. Okay. Here's the ice. Let's go. Let's go from. I usually go from the back of the shirt to the front. We'll go fast. Like that. Which doesn't really matter because it's all. I don't want to go too thick up here with ice. So let me get some more ice in there. What do you guys think? What are you doing? That's what do you think it's going to do? Just to be up the inside Fanfold and not much to it. And we're not adding any more soda ash. Okay. We didn't add any over the shirt, and we're not adding any over the ice. If we're since we're going to experiment, let's do it. Okay, so yeah. Uh hey Scott. Hi LA Designs. So I hope it is too. I hope it's really cool. Um, and maybe if, because I know it's going to leave white space. Hopefully it's somewhat uniform and maybe maybe this could be a way to show white space in kind of a controlled way. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Um, so that's what's kind of cool. I mean, it could be really ugly, but it could be kind of cool. So um, I'm going to incline this. I'm going to incline this, the little bit of ice. This is the thicker end, of course, and it'll be inclined. Uh, I have the catering pans, and these are my drip pans, and just the regular catering pans. I always double them up. That way, if it gets a hole in it, it has something to, doesn't want to make a mess. That's my drip pan. Stick this end in it, lift this end up. And I have like a popsicle box actually right now that I'm using as my steep part, and and it'll be down in this. Okay, I mean I can show you just as easy. Might as well if I'm going to show you my process. Look at this. Tell me we're not a bunch of McDivers here. I'm using Weiler's Authentic Italian Ice 96 of these suckers. They're so good. I love them so much. I eat like four or six at a time. 4 or 6 at a time. Okay, so when I get this over here to my station, this is my the top of my incline, and I'm going to sit it in just like that. Okay, and you can't see the side, but this top of the cooler is up, and this is down, and everything's going to flow down that way. Okay, so skater tada, you never know. You never know. I think it'll be okay, man. You know, um, I think I went light-handed enough to where it's going to split. Um, but I still think I know there's going to be white. I'd be super surprised if there was no white. But like I said, hopefully it's uniform. And if I do want to do some shirts and it turns out cool and it kind of leaves some white, then it could be a cool way to know that I'm going to leave white. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see. And that's how I'm going to do it. Man, that one smells good. About the smell of lemon. I have strawberry here too. I was doing strawberry lemonade and had both of them burn, and it smelled really good. Okay, so that's what I want to do. The shirt was soaked in soda ash for about 45 minutes. I took it out, wrung it out, squared it up, put it in my Panda spin dryer, turned it on for about 45 seconds. And the cool thing about my Panda spin dryer is I get to save my soda ash and put it back in my bucket. So if you're doing it in your washer, it's just going right down the drain. I was doing that, and it costs it costs, um, spinning a shirt out like that all the time. Then I folded it up, fanfold style, added sinew with a medium pull every 2¼ inches, put it in the gutter, no rack in the bottom of it, just straight into the gutter, put my sponges in, sifted dye on, kind of, what do you think, medium handed, kind of medium. Um, Put the ice on, inclined it. Now we're golden, we're just going to let it sit. Um, And as a matter of fact, I might just leave it right here for the night because this will be the only tie dye I make tonight, I would imagine. And if I decide I do want to do something else, I can just move it over to my melting table, so, I have a thermometer right there, thermostat or the thermometer, digital thermometer, and it's right where I am, right where it's melting. It's 68.9 degrees, so it's just below 70 degrees, which is okay. And I let it sit there for 2 days after the ice melts and do my rinse process. And so today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so probably Sunday we'll do the reveal. Is that cool? LA Designs loves some white space, and I do too, as long as it's kind of uniform. You know what I mean? If there's only like, because I have these lines, this like feathering kind of look, and on this shirt. And if I had just like if this little light spot was all white right here, oh, it would mess with me bad. It would mess with me bad. And like if it was just right there, whoosh, oh, yeah, my heart breaks when I see that. But as if it's uniform, I like it, you know. So this was Fanfold. We'll think of some other things to do, and if we want to do some more experimenting, we can do it. I always said I wanted to do more experiments, and this was definitely an experiment. Um, First time ever doing it and going live and doing it. So it could turn out to be really cool. We'll see. So Sunday night, your comments are vanishing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get the hot box going here pretty soon. Um, what do you want to wage? What does Steph say? Embrace the white. I love some white. That's right. Embrace the white. It makes the dye pop. It does. It does. I didn't get the notification that you're on live. Oh, really? Um, I'm excited for the results. Me too, man. So we'll see Sunday night, uh Sunday evening sometime. And we'll see how this thing turns out. All right. And I'm not going to touch it. I promise you. I'm not going to touch it. It's a Gildan heavy cotton large. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. Um, no gimmicks, no messing around. Well, however this does, it does. All right. And I can already see my ice starting to melt just the tiniest bit, because this ice is like really hard ice. Um, okay, so did you see my prediction poll? Who thinks white? Who thinks turquoise? Oh, it'll be both. There's definitely going to be white down here at this end. This is going to have good saturation. So my prediction, this is going to have good saturation. So about right here. Let me get this shirt, and we'll use this shirt as an example because this is my prediction. I, I bet you money this is the way it's going to be. And give me a second because there's dye all over this, and I don't want to put dye on the shirt. Let me spray my table down. No sense in messing my shirt up if I didn't already. There's a bunch of dye down here. Okay, so prediction. This sucker is going to be saturated down here. And then when we get right here at this spot right here where it's a little lighter, all this is going to be white. But there's going to be muck lines. There will be muck lines going all the way, and they're going to be, what is it? They're going to be like the burgundy, probably, right? With the stormy sky. And there's going to be white down here. And it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to look good. Now that I'm talking about it. I to me, it's gonna be a fail. What I would consider a fail. I would I would be so surprised if there's saturation down here. I think in between each pleat will be full on turquoise. Okay, you're on. I bet you money to $1, no white. Oh, okay. I'll definitely take that dollar bet. Um, LA Design says turquoise too. It's gonna be beautiful no matter what. Okay. Well, we'll see. And Sunday night we'll do the reveal and see what happens. And what I had thought about doing originally was doing like dusty purple on the sinew lines and then sifting that over it. But that's another day. We'll try that another day. So it's like, controlled on the sinew lines and then sift it over with a different color and see what would happen, you know? So I'm down with doing some of these experiments. If anybody has anything that they would like to see experimented, l- let me know in a comment and we'll do it. Give me 100 if it comes up. Yeah. And I'm I'm good with $1. Say what you gotta bet it, give me 100 if it comes out. If it comes out beautiful, I'll give you the shirt. If there's no white space, I'll donate it to the recovery center that I donate to. And you guys, now that I mentioned that, if you guys are artists and you do tie-dye and you feel like you have some fails, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure we all do. Um, consider donating to a recovery center. Um, I get it is so fun and it means the world to them and it means the world to me too, man. Um, the letters and response, uh, oh man, I'm telling you, it pulls on your heartstrings. It really does. And it makes it all worthwhile. Um, because, these folks go into recovery with basically what they're wearing and they don't have any other clothes. One of my friends is a counselor at one of them, and we got to talking, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta donate, man," you know. Um, so now I do that, and I try to do it like twice a year. So the shirts that I kind of feel are fails, I donate. You know, so consider doing that, and I guarantee you, you'll feel so good about it because I love the fact that I'm helping people that I don't know, and I don't know when I'm helping them, you know? I mean, I love that. Um, so you consider doing it, I mean, everybody has things that they would, you know, I'll hear people on posts will say that, what do you do with your unwanted ones? And um, I always try to promote that, you know? So, because if they kind of if you feel good and if you look good, then your chance for success is a lot higher, a lot better. And they tell me that these counselors write me these letters, and they're like, you should see the looks on these people's faces when they're going through your work and um, get to put on a tie dye, and they feel good, and their success rate goes up immediately. So give it a try. Sunday night, we'll reveal this shirt. I can already see turquoise. Can you guys see turquoise in there? I can up here. If you were to zoom in, yeah, you can see. If you were to zoom in right here, you can already see turquoise coming in because this is light ice up here. I don't need a bunch of ice up here. I used to just when I first started, bam, man, I'd fill it up. I don't know if Stephanie remembers that. I sent her a video when I first started doing these, and I poured my ice on, I remember, and it filled it up. And so sometimes I start, I'm always changing stuff up, and sometimes it's not for the better. you know? My earlier work is what I dig the most. My early ice dyes. Uh, and I go back and look at my dye placement, and it is a lot different than it is now. I'm using a lot less, and I used a little more back then. So when this tangerine shirt and black cherry shirt I did, I went heavy-handed with it because I didn't want any white in it. Uh, and it's a double, no, it's a pleated prism. So I'll see. I'm gonna rinse it out when we're done here. So have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. It means the world to me. Um, I dig the support, and I just like I like working with you guys, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's a bummer sitting down here by myself, just folding shirts, you know what I mean? So uh have a good night, and my routine, if you go out, call an Uber to come and get you. All right. So thanks a lot. I'll see you on the reveal will be Sunday night, and hopefully it comes out pretty cool. All right. So thanks again, and I will check you Sunday night. All right. Peace out.